Here with reaction, Fox News national security strategist, former deputy assistant to the president, Sebastian Gorka, and Fox News contributor Herman Cain. Sebastian, we start with you tonight. If these text messages don't put it over the top for those that have been trying to cling like a lifeline to this phony Russia, Trump narrative, collusion narrative, I don't know what will. Your thoughts?
Nothing, Sean. So let's just put this into perspective. Very simply put, one of the most senior agents at the FBI responsible for the Hillary Servergate investigation decided and puts it in a text message to his lover, I'm going to give Hillary special treatment because, hey, she might be the next president. That is the definition of the perversion of justice. That is the definition of corruption. And not surprisingly, the Daily Beast is already behind the curve. We know about Comey, we know about Strzok, we know about Rosenstein. Talking to my sources, there are 12 people in this conspiracy at the highest levels of the intelligence.
Are these people mentioned in the memo? Do you have sources?
No. This is not in the memo. This is phase 2. Remember, the memo is the tip of the iceberg. And Sean, I'm worried because the GOP doesn't understand strategic communications. If they don't release this memo now, they will lose the war in this communications battlefield because they're being diligent. They're being very cautious. But the fact is, you see Schiff out there already spinning. The Republicans are taking weeks and months to get everything double-checked. They will lose the communications war and the conspiracy will continue because these people, Sean, they're still at the FBI. They're still at the DOJ. They should have been stripped of their badge, stripped of their gun, and perp-walked out of the Hoover building months ago.
How is it possible, Herman Cain, I think Dr. Gorka raises a good point, that Lisa Strzok still has a job? And Lisa Page and Peter Strzok, how do they still have jobs? How does Andrew McCabe still have a job? How is it that James Comey is not under an investigation at this point and all the others involved in this? How is that possible?
It is possible because of the methods that they know that they can use to create barriers. Number one, somebody should go to jail. And I agree with Dr. Gorka. Yes, the Republicans need to insist. So all of your viewers, you should insist to your representative and your senators release the memo. The reason that most of the Democrats on the Intelligence Oversight Committee didn't want to read it is because they know it had damaging information. Somebody should go to jail, and until they release that memo, we won't be able to get to the bottom of this. And let's face it, the American people are paying for this. We deserve transparency, and the T in transparency is the truth.
Let's release all of them.
Yes.
Now.
Release them all.
Release them all.
Why don't they want to release them? It's very simple. They have something to hide from the American people and from the public, and they need to release the memos and release the memo. That's pure and simple.
Release the memo and release the text. Dr. Gorka,
yes.
What we are learning tonight, I know it gets confusing. I can put them back on the side of the screen as you're speaking here, but as you look at what Strzok and Page are saying to each other, it is unbelievable to me that all of this happened. They still have a job. Now, they wanted to protect Hillary Clinton unless she became president. They had an insurance policy. Now, we know that Comey, McCabe, Strzok, Page, and Loretta Lynch all knew she was never going to be indicted. That's not an investigation. That's called obstruction of justice, especially in light of what we know. Mishandling classified information, felony. Destroying classified information, felony. She did all of that. And even Comey said it. And it gets worse. Then destroying 33,000 subpoenaed emails. And then it gets worse. Then acid washing and bleach bidding the hard drive so you never find them again. And who takes a hammer to bust up their old BlackBerry unless you're trying to hide something and obstruct justice?
Sean, you've outlined what Hillary did, and these are all felonies. the private server, the destruction of evidence. These are all felonious activities. We know she's a criminal. We know she had accomplices. But what's even worse is that under the Obama administration, the FBI's management aided and abetted her. She wasn't sworn under oath. Her evidence, the laptops that they took from her were destroyed, not by Hillary. They were destroyed by the FBI. They allowed her best friend, who was also a suspect, to act as her counsel in that interview. How did that happen? That happened because the Obama administration allowed it to happen. And the right name for all of this, Sean, is Obama Gate. Because if he doesn't allow this to happen, it doesn't happen.
Well, I will tell you, I never thought Herman Cain in my lifetime that we would see people at this level of power literally thinking that they can use a bought and paid for phony dossier of Hillary Clinton to get a FISA warrant, first to lie to the American people and propagandize the American people with Russian lies, and then to use that very dossier to get a FISA warrant to spy on an opposition candidate in a presidential election year and then use it to undermine a president-elect. This is not a banana republic, Herman Cain, but this is the stuff of a banana republic.
Sean, my last word is simply this. Somebody is going to go to jail. The only question is who and when. And I want to remind people, due process takes time. But somebody is going to jail just based upon the information that we already have. And if we get the other information from the memo and the missing emails, somebody is going to jail, and they should.
I have no doubt if we have equal justice under the law and we follow the law and we believe in our Constitution, all of what you said should come true. Thank you both. Herman Cain, Sebastian Gorka.